Welcome back, guys. Happy 4th of July, even though it is the 5th of July. And guess what? I heard somebody say this is essentially the American Pride Month. So happy America Pride Month. Okay? So July is officially the kickoff of America's 250th, and we're going to be looking at the epic fireworks. On Friday, a bunch of us stayed back to watch the fireworks at Mount Rushmore. It was epic. It was amazing. And we're going to be looking at a few spectacles from the 4th of July celebration. Let's take a look at this. Now, I haven't watched this. I always reserve these videos for when I share them with you. So if I ever play a video and I have to stop abruptly because it has copyrighted music or something, just know that I didn't watch the video beforehand, and I don't watch videos beforehand because I want the reactions to be fresh. Meanwhile, happy 4th of July, gardening. Good to see you. Look, I'm going to be opening up the call-in feature. Like Phil, I don't know if he was able to make it today. Phil suggested that we make it a fixture, and I am, I'm moving forward with my promise to make it a fixture. So while we're watching the videos, if you have a contribution to make to the content or maybe some pushback, you're free to use the call-in link. It's right there in the chat area. So we're going to watch the fireworks from yesterday. I haven't seen it, so my reaction is going to be fresh, okay? And then we're going to look at a few other things. Mayor Mamdani decided that he was going to release a speech blasting the United States of America. And I haven't listened to the speech. I haven't. I always reserve these things to share them with you. So we're going to watch that as well. I like to have fresh reactions that I share with you so that my reactions aren't canned reactions. So let me know where you're chatting from, and we'll jump right into it with the fireworks. This is going to be, I heard it was epic. Okay, here we go with the music again. The video we had on Friday was restricted because of all the copyrighted music that we allowed play during the fireworks. And honestly, I don't think I have the appetite for another restriction on the video. Now, I'm going to be intermittently playing the audio. Oh, there's lots of... Jeez. This is... Look, guys. This is amazing. I heard that there were over 850,000 fireworks. Okay? Anyone that looks at this and is belly aching and is still saying, and all they're focusing on is Trump bad. And when you ask them, why is Trump bad? It's all made up accusations, okay? When you look at this spectacle, all right, this is just impressive. And the rock music, the chest hair, okay? The chest hair just pops out because it's like, this is amazing. 850,000 fireworks. Gardening says the whole time there was music. Some of our military sang the songs. Look, I'm going to play some of the flybys. There were flybys. Here we go again with the videos. There were some flybys. Oh, was this live? Oh, it was the military. Cool. Oh, man. Guys, look, I'm sorry, okay? If you want to watch the whole thing, you have to go to YouTube to watch it. I don't have the appetite of getting for getting the video restricted. Okay. I have to buy, okay, no, I don't have to buy baby food, but I do have to buy food for the kids. So whatever this video makes has to go to that. So yeah, so thank you guys for hanging out on Friday. Now, this was the fireworks that took place. That was during the 4th of July celebration. Now, while that was happening, guess what happened in Los Angeles? Okay, because remember that there were blue cities that were belly aching that they couldn't have fireworks, but they could put up Somali flags. Okay, you remember those guys? All right, so we have Los Angeles banned fireworks, and this is how people responded. Okay, this is 40 minutes.
About 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so.
This was Los Angeles.
And there are massive fireworks going off pretty much in every direction.
Los Angeles.
That you see here. Jasmine, our local fire departments and police departments have been begging people not to do this, but it seems tonight they are not listening to those calls.
Well, and they're putting up new warnings on social media. I mean, they're saying safe and sane are even banned.
Look at that.
Cities in LA County, not to mention
look at that. Now, can someone tell me in the chat why Los Angeles decided that they were going to ban fireworks? Okay.
I mean, it is quite the sight. But this is
look at this, guys. Okay. So Los Angeles says if you celebrate your country by popping off fireworks, you're going to be banned $50,000. And Los Angelinos, patriotic Los Angelinos, responded by doing this.
And there are
this is fun. Okay. But can
that
someone tell me why Los Angeles decided to ban fireworks? Okay.
But it seems tonight they are not listening.
So,
they're putting up new
so I was.
I mean, they're saying safe and sane are even.
I was sitting in church. Okay, I was sitting in church, and I was at the second service. I had gone through the first service, so second service, I was scrolling through my phone, and I saw this notification, and it tickled me. I said, "Well, this is funny." Okay, now, but can someone tell me in the chat why Los Angeles decided that they were going to ban fireworks? Now, we're going to listen to Zohran Mamdani's speech. Let me just pull that up. We're going to listen to Zohran Mamdani's speech, okay? We've looked at the fireworks. Epic. Well, it was, 40 minutes? 40 minutes of that? My goodness. Look, Trump is pulling out all the stops to honor the United States. And the Democrats and everyone who hates President Trump and the United States, okay, they want you to believe that they're acting this way because Trump is a racist, Trump is a this-phobe and a that-phobe. Okay, now let's listen to Zohran Mamdani's. Let's listen to his speech. And I saw this come up on my feed on Saturday, and I didn't play it. I figured I would save it for tonight. New York City Mayor Mamdani on American exceptionalism. And we're going to listen to this together, okay? So let's listen.
There is a term so often used to describe our nation and those who have shaped it: American exceptionalism. American exceptionalism, the conventional wisdom tells us, makes our freedom a little more free, is how we dug the Erie Canal and irrigated the West, is why children in faraway lands grow up dreaming of one day moving here. And yet the irony is that the story of America has so often been written by those who were told by others with power and influence and wealth that they were anything but exceptional. For generation after generation, we have been told that when the world has sent its people to our shores, it has not sent its best. It sent Puritans and Sikhs and Quakers and Muslims and Jewish people who were banished for praying the wrong way, worshiping the wrong gods.
So what Mayor Mamdani is doing here is actively rewriting history by claiming that the people who left were banished. They were not banished. they left. They left. Yes, they were persecuted for their beliefs, but they left because they wanted a place where they could worship with freedom. And the people that he named, Sikhs, nope, the Sikhs were not on the Mayfair. I believe that's the name of the ship that hit the shores of the United States. The Sikhs were not on that boat. The Muslims were not on that boat. Okay? They weren't. Jews were not on that boat. It was Puritans. And it was only later that the rest of these people came, and some of them only showed up within the last 100 years. And so Mamdani is essentially just trying to say that America has a history of people never sending their best. And he's doing this in order to say it's okay for us to allow unfettered, unchecked mass migration.
Angering the wrong people. It sent peasants and serfs from slums and shtetls who were...
So George Washington was a peasant and a serf. Okay? Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, all of these guys were peasants and serfs, right?
Were treated as less because they hardly owned clothes, let alone land. They
Jesus.
sent immigrants from whom power was something someone else had.
Let's listen to a bit of this
that America
nonsense.
Is exceptional because we are richer, stronger, more powerful than everyone.
That's not true. That's not true. Everyone knows that American exceptionalism is all about the American spirit, the indomitable spirit of Americans who will not bend or break under the thumb of tyranny. That is American exceptionalism. All right. And this guy, look, I'm not an American citizen. JM, okay, hang on. Crossroads, behave yourself, okay? I need to honor the chat. So I don't know if I said hi to gardening properly, but gardening is in the chat, okay? I can't remember, and if I'm doing this twice, you deserve it, okay? And now JM is in the chat saying, hello, everyone. Hope everyone enjoyed the 4th. I hope you guys enjoyed the 4th, okay? The 4th for me was a blur. It was driving and running errands for my wife and doing things all day, way into the night. So it was a very busy 4th. But we did wish our daughter a happy 4th of July because she's an American citizen, of course. So Zoran, so this is rich, guys. You have this son of Indian immigrants who he was born in Uganda. He's been given massive privileges for simply becoming an American citizen, being given the ability to be voted for and to vote. And his thank you to the United States is this horrendous speech. It's crazy to me, but let's listen for a bit before we switch over.
The truth, my friends, is that America is exceptional because here, nothing is fixed into place. The frontier may be closed. We may have walked on the moon, but the work of fulfilling the values first enshrined in the Declaration of Independence, that work endures.
He sprinkles some truth in there, and that's what you need to look out for, okay? Because they will always sprinkle some truth. The goal is to pursue a more perfect union, all right? But it isn't to ignore common sense and let people break into your country randomly.
And it belongs to us all. It belongs to our newest Americans, those standing here with me today, all of whom were recently naturalized. Nearly a decade ago, I too felt what you feel.
So, okay, guys, Zoran is pontificating and talking about Americans who have been naturalized. These are legal immigrants. So they take legal immigrants stage them to pose and hold American flags, and then say, hey, look, immigrants over here. Yeah, the guys Trump wants to kick out. That's not the truth, but he knows it. Everyone who has a brain knows it. But they're counting on you to be ignorant. They're counting on you to not know what's going on. Now, I saw this, I'm going to find this video. I saw this video and it was heartwarming because while the fireworks were going off during the celebration at Mount Rushmore, while that was going on, U.S. Marine Corps Sergeant Diakaria Sangre received his American citizenship at Mount Vernon on the 4th of July, the perfect day to officially join the greatest nation on earth the right way. Okay? These people, I don't want to call him a clown, but these people are trying to tell us that the Trump administration is randomly trying to kick every immigrant out of the country, but they don't show you this, that this guy who immigrated into the country legally was just made an American citizen. There are people who are still coming into the country the right way, and they're getting naturalized, and they have a path to citizenship the right way. I talk to relatives all the time, and they tell, okay, hang on. This show is not about me. It's about the news, and it's about you. So I'm going to put my family drama in the locker unless you ask me to pull it out. And I'm going to let's listen to Marine Corps, U.S. Marine Corps Sergeant Diakaria.
I've loved this country since I first got here, so it's amazing. I've been in the Marine Corps for almost 6 years now. I've been deployed, a lot of field ops. It's just an amazing feeling, man. It's just amazing. Thank you for taking the time to interview me. Thank you. I'm from Guinea, West Africa. Guinea. I came here when I was a little kid. I went to school. I graduated high school. Went to Military Magnet Academy. It's a small school in North Charleston. It's a military school. After that, I went to college a little bit. Student loans. So I was like, okay, let me join the military. I always wanted to join the military. Joined the military. Ended up working out great for me. I promoted to sergeant in less than 3 years. I got accepted into the Commandant's Retention Program, right? So that's amazing. I've just been blessed. It's been a long time. I want to say thank God. Thank my parents. My parents work hard. Shout out to my mom. She came here, self-employed, worked her butt off, man, to get me here and give me this opportunity. So I want to say thank you, Mom. If you're watching, thank you. My stepdad, amazing man. He's at work right now. He works double shifts. Just thank you, man, for making me the man I am. Thank you so much. Thank you. Shout out to my unit, AIB, WIFIC. Hey, what's up, brothers? They should be here today, but I only got 2 invitations. But hey, thank you, American Dream.
Look, this is how it's done, guys. Okay, this is how it's done. I know that on this show, we play crazy leftists saying the most outrageous things. We do. And we do that because a bunch of us don't know it's happening. We do see the Hakeem Jeffries and the Chuck Schumers of the world going out there and saying a bunch of retarded nonsense. But we also need to see the effect of that nonsense at street level. And that's why I show you some of the stuff that's happening at the street level, that these guys have created a permission structure that activates these retards. It's Sunday. You're not supposed to call people retards. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm supposed to not do that. It's Sunday. Okay. I'm not supposed to call people retards. But look, I'm still wearing my Sunday shirt. Okay. This is my Sunday shirt. Okay. So, you have these people out on the street. Okay. Acting the fool. And I show this so that we know, hey, these are the people who are out there voting the same as you. And if you don't wake up, these guys they are the loud minority, okay? Those people who have common sense are the majority. If you don't wake up and do what you're supposed to do, they're going to be the ones calling the shots very soon, because they are electing socialists as their congressional representatives now. Okay, so how soon will it be that these socialists eventually begin to call on a vote to have constitutional amendments on things like the Second Amendment? And then eventually the First Amendment. And then they pack the Supreme Court. And then they make Washington, D.C. a state and Puerto Rico a state. Okay? Like all of these things, and then they rush through 5 to 10 million illegal aliens to become citizens or give them the ability to vote. Right now, they've blocked the SAVE Act. And the SAVE Act is not getting passed anytime soon because these people in the GOP who are meant to be doing their job have refused to do their job. All right, so that's what we're dealing with. And that's why I show these things. But we need to also see that there are people. Look, guys, there are more of us than there are of them. JM says, this is a real patriot sacrifice. All right. And this guy is grateful. He's grateful. Okay. And I want to show more of the positives today. All right. So let's see. I want to play some of the spectacle that essentially happened over the weekend. Okay, this live stream is all over the place because one, I'm essentially I have the stories all lined up, but I'm essentially speaking from my heart now. So I'm just kind of going with the flow. All right, let's see. We had a flyby. Hold on, let me get the flyby. There were a bunch of flybys that took place. A bunch of Apache helicopters in South Carolina went in low formation. Like, you can't see this and think to yourself, America isn't exceptional. Look at this. Look at that. Okay. You see, sorry, I had to pause it. There's this little toddler, okay? It caught my eye and I just want to point it out. You see this toddler here on the screen, all right? You can't grow up seeing this. You can't grow up seeing this and being told how important your country is to the world, but also to American citizens and the rich history of the United States, and grow up and be ungrateful. You can't grow up in the greatest country in the world and become an ungrateful, spiteful mayor like this guy. It's engineered. It's created. It's astroturfed. Kids who wind up becoming Marxists don't become Marxists because they spawned into the world and they were Marxist. They were brainwashed. Okay? They were brainwashed. Another spectacle that showed up in my feed. And look, look, let's take a minute, okay, to be happy for the United States. Let's not be like the leftists who look for reasons to be upset. So I have a bunch of these videos that I lined up about, oh, look at what the leftists are saying. Oh, rah, rah, I'm so upset with them. But let's take a minute, guys, to just celebrate. Let's pretend these losers don't exist for a minute, all right? Epic patriotism alert. Check out the world's largest free hanging American flag dramatically suspended between two rugged mountains in North Ogden, Utah. Take a look at this. And this is not AI. Oh, come on, music again. I'm not sacrificing this video either. Look at this. This is a huge flag. All right. Sorry, I have to make it larger. This is a huge flag suspended between two mountains. All right. So while the leftists are belly aching and crying in front of the White House, there's the videos that I have here of them. That maybe we'll take a peek at them to see how they're doing, okay, and whether they've taken their meds. They're out in front of the White House crying and wishing that Trump dies. Like, that's their recreational sport. Okay, that's their recreational sport. Oh, who can wish for Trump to die the hardest? Okay, that's what they do. And then they spend the entirety of the 4th of July, when they should be spending time with family and loved ones, celebrating their country and honoring the sacrifice of those who came before them. And many of them have family who have bled and died for the country. And their thank you to these people is to say how much they hate the country. All right. So it's insane to watch, but that's the world we live in today, guys. All right. Now, let's see. All right. Do I have any? Okay. So leftists. Now, while the celebration was going on, okay, I'm just going to talk about this, okay, because when we say these guys hate the United States, they hate America. Take a look at this woman, okay? Democrat Representative Adelita Grijalva, I think that's how it's pronounced, vows to investigate America 250 for what? Involving Christianity. Let's listen to this.
This iteration of America 250, this Freedom 250 that Donald Trump and his cronies have engaged in.
We're cronies now.
There's a real strong element.
Hey, cronies. Here's to the cronies. We're his cronies, okay? We're his cronies. Yes. We're his cronies. Let's keep listening.
Of Christian nationalism that is meant to define what it means to be an American. Can you speak to that and what you guys uncovered?
Well, and that's incredibly problematic, because our nation is built on really the contributions of immigrants, of people from all different countries.
No, contribution of settlers. America was an unsettled continent. It was occupied by roving tribes of natives, the local Red Indians, who routinely raided and pillaged and enslaved each other, by the way. Okay? So they weren't saints. They weren't, at peace and in union with the land. They routinely, barbarically attacked and destroyed each other. JM says, you can see the hate and disdain in his eyes. It's a demonic spirit that fuels these people. Look, when you listen to them, and you have a patriotic heart beating in your chest, something inside of you recoils. That thing that recoils tells you that there's something wrong with what you're hearing. All right? There's something wrong with what you're hearing. Now, I like to be fair, and you guys have watched me long enough to know that I try to be fair, and I try to not be someone who essentially dies on a hill, like I have to be right, okay? But when you listen to them, it's very clear, especially when you listen to congressional hearings and conversations that they have in the press, especially when they they summon enough courage to go over to a conservative media outlet and they're being interviewed, what do they say? They never own up to the fact that they're wrong. So the Democrats, who, by the way, didn't investigate or find the missing children who had been trafficked across the border during Joe Biden's years, who conveniently said that the Epstein files, which conservative podcasters were screaming about for years, they called them conspiracy theorists, suddenly turned around to claim that Trump was covering up the Epstein files, while for 4 years, when they had the House and the Senate, refused to do anything about the Epstein files. Joe Biden and Obama didn't do anything about the Epstein files or the Epstein situation. At every turn, any movement that took place with Epstein, Trump had a hand in it. Trump informed on Epstein to the FBI, which led to his first arrest and indictment. And during his presidency, that was when he was jailed, and sadly, he wound up dead in custody. Now, with all of that, and then under Trump again, the Epstein files were released. And yet, these people still have the nerve to sit in front of cameras and lie to us and claim that Trump is hiding something with the Epstein files. While they did absolutely nothing, and they were the first to jump in front of the camera to claim that conservative podcasters were conspiracy theorists, they were QAnon conspiracy theorists, and everything they said was actually a lie. And suddenly, the conspiracies were now a tool that they could use against Trump. And they want us to listen to them and take them seriously. So let's keep listening to them.
Different nationalities and all different religions. We do not have an official religion in this country, nor do I believe should we. We are supposed to be this melting pot where everyone comes together and is stronger as a result of it. But under this administration, it is more about how Christian you are.
Yes, because the American Constitution, and I would like anyone who is listening or who is watching this on a replay, I want you to listen very carefully. All right. The American Constitution cannot work unless it is being used by a moral Christian society. It dies the moment it enters into a setting where the people are no longer moral or Christian. And I want to make that very clear. The moment America wholeheartedly declares itself divorced from its Christian and moral roots, the Constitution becomes useless. So she's essentially barking up the wrong tree, but the Democrats are pushing the United States closer and closer to a point where they become, or the United States becomes a godless state. Now, when you watch Democrats, guys, let me know in the chat if I'm pontificating, okay? But I've watched these guys long enough, and I've seen how they've conveniently edged out Christianity from the public forum, but they've dragged in other religions. And they're openly telling you that those religions are now official religions. For example, talk about the alphabet community. The alphabet community is a religion. What they attempt to push on the American people is a religion. It has no basis in science, but they claim that it is based in science or based on science. All right. Look at how they revere the alphabet community. They raise their flags. They dedicate a whole month. Can someone tell me if Congress has ever dedicated a full month to Christianity? Has a full month ever been dedicated to Christianity? Never has. All right? Never has. But for the alphabet community, oh my God, they get a full month. And if you dare pull down the flag of the alphabet community, you get attacked, you get prosecuted, you get vilified. They call you all sorts of names, you lose your job. If you just happen to hint that you're against the alphabet community. All right. This is happening in New York, by the way. Okay. All right. Now I'm just going to read the caption. Sneeko declares New York an Islamic state. He says Islam will be in every household, inshallah. The whole world will become Muslim.
Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Oh no! Fuck you! This is the Islamic Republic of New Yorkistan. Islam will be in every household. Inshallah, the whole world is Muslim. Welcome to Mamdani's New York. You see this city? You see how it looks? Inshallah, your city looks just like this too.
So, you have the alphabet community having a whole month. And then you have the city of New York being declared an Islamic city. So how come she's not investigating those? How come she's not investigating those? How come she's not calling out those? Now, you might be watching and you're saying, "Oh no, those people in New York aren't representative of Mamdani." No, they essentially started doing that the moment he was elected because he is an Islamist. He is. And they continued to do that up till now. And they've essentially declared that New York is now an Islamic state because they have a mayor who is Islamist. Where are the investigations? So it's funny to me where Democrats begin to say these astroturfed things. They want Christian nationalism. Meanwhile, you don't have people running around cities around the United States screaming that, oh, this is a Christian city. No one needed to do that because everyone always knew that America was founded on Christian principles. They didn't need to do that. It was the left that ran out onto the streets screaming and pulling out their hair. Oh no, separation of church and state. Never in the Constitution, by the way. All right. And that phrase, separation of church and state, wasn't in the Constitution. It was in letters written by, I think it was by Thomas Jefferson, I think it was, or Benjamin Franklin to someone else. And they mentioned it. And the separation of church and state is a concept that essentially states that there will be no state religion. Ergo, a state-funded religion where the people will be taxed in order to fund that church or that denomination, because there was a tax that was being levied on the American people by the British to fund the Anglican Church. That was the origin of that argument. And most of the people who essentially were at the core of the Republican Congress were Presbyterians. In fact, in England, the revolution was called the Presbyterian Revolution. they had to put that in there in order to prevent another resurgence of the same thing that they revolted against, where suddenly the Presbyterians rise up to say, okay, we're going to be receiving a tax, okay, a state sanctioned tax in order to fund the Presbyterian church instead of the Anglican church or the Catholic church or the Methodist church. That was what was being prevented. Islam wasn't on the cards. Okay, Buddhism wasn't on the cards. And you know that it's separation of church and state, not church and mosque, not church and temple, it's church and state. And it was all about levying people in order to funnel the money to a specific denomination. They don't teach that in school anymore. You have people like this, very dishonest, okay, very dishonest liars like this, who tell you that, oh, Christian nationalism is horrible and such a travesty. We're investigating it. Like it's a crime. Everyone knew that America is a Christian state. Let me go back to the chat, guys. JM says mainstream has yet to pay for all the lies, false information, and deception that they've been spreading across the years. They will have their day, and hopefully sooner than later. I think they're having their day already. They're having their day because right now you have private YouTubers getting more views than CNN. Okay, like seriously, like you have like in the movie industry, you have individual YouTube reviewers who do movie reviews getting more views on their videos than people attending the movies. It's true. So already we're seeing that shift, and that is why, let me make a segue here. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because connecting with channels like mine allows you to take power away from these mainstream hacks who essentially lie to you for a living, and they expect you to eat the shit and say thank you very much and never complain. So subbing, sharing the video, liking the video, and joining the Discord is the way you support us. And if you're feeling extra generous, you can send in donations. It really helps out a whole lot, okay? It does cost money to run even a small operation, all right? Internet access, computing power, and very soon, possibly get a producer to help me out with planning the show so that it's not as scatterbrained as it is tonight. So supporting your preferred content creator is one way you take power away from them. Just like, people vote with their wallets, people vote with their eyes, people vote with their feet. All right. People who try to come to the United States vote with their feet. Why aren't they trying to break into Afghanistan? Why aren't they trying to break into China? Why? If China is so great, how come you don't have an illegal migration crisis into China or into North Korea? All right, these are socialist countries. Why aren't they, or communists, why aren't they having an immigration surge? It is because those countries are horrible, they suck, and nobody wants to go there, but everybody wants to come to the United States. Because of what the founding fathers built. Happy 4th of July. In fact, what do you say for the month of July? We say Happy America Pride Month. All right, can I get a yes from someone in the chat? Because it'll be good. Look, it is people like you and me that shift culture. It is people like you and me that shift culture. It's not, sometimes we give too much credit to the big institutions. Those institutions only got their power because of people like you and me. You understand? Yeah, so happy America Pride Month. Look, I'm telling you, okay? I'm telling you, like, if you guys want it to be a thing, you're going to have to help me, okay? You're going to have to help me. Whenever we go live, you wish us a happy America Pride Month. As we go live, you're going to have to help me, okay? I'm not going to shoehorn this. I'm trying to make it a thing, okay? It is something that we have to decide. Look, if culture is going to change, we are the ones who are going to change culture. We're going to rip the power away from these people. Look at this woman's eyes, okay? Look at this woman's eyes. Is there a soul in those eyes or behind those eyes? I look at this, and these are people that are being platformed. They are trying really hard to indoctrinate our kids and to brainwash those of us who are susceptible to the brainwashing. That's what they do. So we have to decide we're going to take culture back. I don't think we need to hear the well. Let's. It's 46 minutes in, and I spent most of tonight on my soapbox. Do you guys like listening to me talk about this, or do you guys just like listening to the videos? Because I don't know. You guys need to help me out here. Okay, you need to help me out here. Today I came in hot. Okay, I came in hot because when you're fed up, you're fed up, all right? When you're fed up, you've had it. You're like, okay, I'm done with the nonsense. You have an immigrant who was accepted into the United States, okay? Ugandan immigrant accepted into the United States, won an election that, in my opinion, he shouldn't have won, because he ran on very abhorrent policies. He ran on tribalism. He ran a divisive campaign. He ran an un-American campaign. Why do I say it's un-American? He campaigned in Arabic. He pushed his campaign to immigrants, not to American citizens. And the useful idiots, the woke white useful idiots who want to be on the right side of history, backed him up. They celebrated, yay, he's won. One white girl was celebrating, yay, Sharia is coming. And I'm looking at these people who are arming the nuclear bomb that's about to take them out. Or let's say who just armed the nuclear bomb that was about to take them out. Celebrating and getting drunk that an Islamist won an election. And if they get their way, you, the woman, getting drunk in a bar celebrating the rise of Islam in New York, you've not been paying attention to what's going on in Iran, clearly. You've not. You've not. So you're celebrating that, and it's just very clear how brainwashed these people are. So the Democrats are investigating the Trump administration for being too Christian. I heard a story, and I'm just going to tell this story. I heard a story by a woman who used to be, she was one of the Hitler Youth during the Second World War in Nazi Germany, and when Germany fell, there were two fronts, okay, closing in on the German people. There was the Eastern Front that was communist Soviet Union, okay, a godless army that had their country had rejected God. There was nothing about Christian. There was nothing Christian about the Soviet Union. They were coming with that ideology, and they were raping as they went. Okay, they would murder the men, the military-aged men and boys, and they will rape all the women. They essentially that action changed the gene pool of Germany. Till this day, it's affected Germany till this day. So that was going on. On the other side was the Allied forces led by the United States. And they were approaching from the West. She said that she knew that her only hope of not being raped and killed was to head towards the Western Front. Because the Americans would, even though she was identified as a Hitler Youth or something, as long as she wasn't an SS officer, they would essentially be nicer to her than the Russians who were coming from the east. So she headed west. And when she was captured by the Americans, she said that the one thing that she noticed was how kind the American soldiers were. Nobody laid a finger on her. Nobody did. Nobody, they took care of her, they fed her, and then they sent her on her way. There's an ideology, a clear ideology that is compatible with Western civilization, with the American spirit, and it is not communism, it is not socialism, it is not what the Democrats have been pushing for the last few years. And what she is essentially doing, this is a mask off moment. When they say, you don't get to celebrate the Christian foundations of the American state. You don't get to do that. And if you try to do that, we will investigate you. But we will allow people like Sneeko, to let everyone know that New York is an Islamic state, essentially. It's totally fine for Islamists to do that. Now, someone might say, hey, Mamdani didn't endorse this. Well, it didn't stop leftists from attacking Trump when the UFC fighter, during his victory speech, screamed out that Michelle Obama is a man. Oh no, they lined up to attack Trump, to say that Trump had to take responsibility for the comments being made by people who align with him. No. Rules for thee, but not for me. That's what these guys do. Today has been a rant Sunday. I don't know if you guys like these rants, but it's just been a rant Sunday. Let's see. JM says, you see them never question Satanism, New Age religions, or Islam. They need followers of Christ out of the way to destroy the country. Like I said the other day, if they take America down, the New World Order wins. Look, they would call us conspiracy theorists for talking about things like this. They would. JM, they would. They would say you're a conspiracy theorist for claiming, that this nice little Hispanic politician wants to persecute Christians. Oh, and besides that, she's Hispanic, and most Hispanics are Catholic. Well, where are the communist hellholes on the American continent, North and South America? Where are the communist hellholes? They are in Hispanic, in Hispanic regions. So don't come at me with, oh, she's a nice Hispanic woman and she's Christian. She's only trying to uphold the Constitution. These people don't care about Christianity unless it suits their ability to shame you into silence. Okay? JM says, keep ranting, my brother. Look, guys, if you pray, please pray for this channel, okay? Pray for this channel. Pray for me, pray for the channel. I try to lift the quality of what I do here because I value your time. I value your commitment to the channel. And I value the fact that you take out the time to post in the chat and to support me. And sometimes you guys leave donations and I'm dumbstruck that it's happening. But to do this, I want to do this long term, okay? I see myself doing this for the rest of my life. Okay, for as long as I live, from now forward, I see myself doing this. I can't do it if this isn't unless by some miracle I have a different stream of income that makes all of this make sense. Because the older you get and the responsibilities to family come calling, you begin to make certain decisions. So guys, just pray for me, pray for the channel, support as much as you can, but we want to keep this going. All right, we want to keep this going. JM says, very true, alternative media is far superior. It is far superior, and the thing that we all need to understand is that alternative media cracked the code a long time ago. They know how to get people's attention. They know that as long as they are able to have bombastic stories, huge claims, and big funding, and then essentially have a monopoly on the ability to tell a story, and that is when they get supported by the state. Shout out to USAID, by the way, because have you noticed how South American countries have been, the elections holding in South American countries have been turning out right-leaning winners over the last couple of months? Okay, so that was USAID funding, no longer pulling the strings in South America. USAID money was also being used to fund left-leaning influencers. So whenever you see that influence happening, the alternative media crack the code. They know what to say. They know how to pull in the eyeballs. They know what to do. All right. We're trying to simply tell the truth. And for a lot of people, the truth is not attractive. The truth is not sexy. All right. If I sat here, guys, I'm going to give you a warning, okay, ahead of time. A day is coming, you're going to watch my stream or my video, and you're not going to like what I said. But it will be the truth. As much as I know, it would be the truth. You would not like what I said. You might not even like how I said it. But it would be the truth. That will be the test of whether you're going to stick around or whether you're going to leave. It's coming. Because if I hold to this value and I say to you, I will never lie to you. I will never intentionally mislead or misinform you. I will never do that. A day will come when I will tell you something that you don't like. I will come to a conclusion on one of the stories that you don't like. So I hope you're bracing yourself for that time because it's coming. I know you guys love me. I know you guys, you want the channel to grow. Oh, but that day is coming. That day is coming. And I don't know when it is, but it's coming. It always does whenever you have a relationship with someone who tells the truth. It's never pleasant. All right. But what we're going to do together is, with your support, with your prayer, and with us, I am going to work harder than I ever have, okay, to make sure that I'm delivering every promise that I try hard, okay. So let's see. Okay, so we're just over the hour mark. All right. So right now I am on borrowed time. I'm on borrowed time because I want you guys to honor the time spent. But let me see. I asked for you guys to let me know if we should continue with calling July America Pride Month. American Pride Month. Okay, or America. I think America Pride Month is best than American Pride Month. America Pride. Okay, people who are saying I'm proud to be an American, we're going to give the month of July. This is the month where the American flag is going to fly high and long. President Trump, during one of his speeches after he won the election back in November of 2024, he said that the 250th anniversary was going to be celebrated by a year. Gardening says, I've seen a lot of people say July is going to be American Pride Month. Okay, so we're joining them. Guys, let's shift culture. Let's shift culture. Okay, these people are terrified. Like for her to openly say that they're investigating the Trump administration for being openly Christian. If these people can investigate a sitting administration for being openly Christian, that tells you who they are and what they are willing to do to you. I'm going to play a video. Because I've been talking about this for a long time. Let me play this video. I'm going to just source it. I'm going to play this video. And I've been talking about this for a long time. I'm going to play this video because I played it months ago. I played it months ago. And every time I talk about it, I'm upset about it because these people want us to be quiet. Here. All right. Beverly Williams, who was charged and imprisoned for praying outside an abortion clinic, received a pardon from President Trump. This was on January 24th, 2025. All right. I did a video on this. I played it months ago on the main channel. So I've never played it on the live stream before. So watch this. This woman, was imprisoned for praying outside. And I want you guys to let it settle in your soul, okay, that what these people, okay, Zoran Mamdani and Shea Grivalda, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Not Shea Guevara, but Shea Grijalva. I think the J is a H. Shea Grijalva. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Okay. These people hate you. They hate the Christian foundations that America is built on. These people who are celebrating that now they have an openly Islamist mayor, that therefore it means that they have the run of New York City and they're celebrating in the middle of the street. This is what you're up against. Someone will say, well, are you fear-mongering? Excuse me. Fear-mongering is making stuff up. Look at what's on your screen, guys. Look at what you've been listening to. So here's this lady, Beverlyn. I followed the case when she was arrested, when she was arraigned and imprisoned. And here she is after President Trump pardoned her. This is one of the people that left-wing media continues to attack Trump for pardoning. They say he's pardoned over 1,000 people. Oh, he's letting criminals out. This is one of the people who was pardoned.
Look at mama. Look at mama.
Like you can't see this and not feel like just breaking down and crying. This woman was praying. She had a baby. They arrested her, arraigned her, and then imprisoned her for praying outside a clinic. Every time I talk about it, I always get emotional and really upset. Okay? These people want you to believe that they are the nice people, that they are on the right side of history. They would rip a mother from her child and throw her in jail for praying outside a clinic. All right, she'd been in jail for months. I can't remember how long she was in jail for. Look, she had a baby. All right.
Somebody gonna us. No. You know.
All right. So when I get upset, whenever I see, I'm sorry, so like this is a real thing. So when I see people like this saying that they're going to investigate and prosecute the Trump administration for being openly Christian and encouraging people to be openly Christian, it tells you who they are, it tells you what you're up against, and do what you will with what I've said. Do what you will with what I've said. Yeah, I mean, you can listen, you can agree, you can nod, and you can say, okay, yeah, that sounds about right. But if you don't do I don't know what to look. I'm blown away that not enough people are screaming and saying people like her, people like him should resign. They have no place in American politics. The Hakeem Jeffries, of course, they never resign. They never resign. They have their cult they have their cult following. They have their funders. They have people that back them. They have the George Soroses and all the other people in the WEF that fund the destruction of the West. This is what you're up against, guys. So, just like the fight against leftism and wokeism didn't end when Trump won the 2024 election, this fight is going to go on, and I think it's going to go on beyond most of our lifetimes. I believe that what we're doing is laying a foundation, and the foundation has to be laid correctly. This channel could go several ways. It could go the route of bash every leftist you see and don't give any quarter. So when someone comes into my chat who supports the Democrat Party, we rip them to shreds like we're rabid animals. We could go down that route, but we've chosen not to. We've chosen not to. And when you choose not to be that extreme, it affects the algorithm. The algorithm feeds on extremes. So we're going to build slowly. We're going to build carefully. We're laying a foundation of honor. We're laying a foundation of truth. We're going to tell the truth. Where in some cases we're going to be firm, on occasion brutal, but we're going to tell the truth. JM says, like you say, we should always have grace and have open arms for others. Even the Lord came to the world not for the righteous, but for the sinners. That's true. I don't know, guys. I am like everyone else out there who wants to see things grow quickly. And the temptation will always be, should I do what everyone else is doing in order to, blast out of the stratosphere? But we're just I'm going to trust you guys. All right? I'm going to trust you guys. I'm going to create content for you. Right now, I'm looking at my view count. There are 5 of you watching on YouTube right now. 1 person on Kick. So 6 in total from what I can see here, unless the numbers are actually more and the software is picking up only a handful of them. All right, so whoever is watching on Kick, I see you. And hey, leave us a comment. All right? Leave us a comment. It's important for us to understand what's out there. Okay? It's important. I want to entertain you, but I also want us to be able to have real conversations. So instead of entertaining you, I would rather have real conversations. I would risk having real conversations than entertaining you into a stupor where you think everything is fine. And we're laughing and joking and pointing at the insanity of the left while they are actually gaining grounds with mobilizing voters, protesting at every turn. They are funding their preferred and they are funding and supporting their preferred influencers. This guy, Sneeko, is a big influencer on Twitch. This guy, he's a big influencer on Twitch. He's possibly maybe the second biggest Islamist influencer on Twitch. Sneeko. So you have people like this with millions of views every month, possibly millions of followers, and they're supported by their own crowd. So if I'm not your favorite content creator, find that person. Go to that person who is your favorite content creator and support them to the hilt, as long as they're doing the right thing, guys. Support them to the hilt, because these are the people the left is pushing. These guys, they're pushing these guys. I want to apologize to you because I wanted to just play spectacle, but we ran into this pile of dog shit. And not the people, okay? I'm not calling the people piles of dog shit. I'm calling the ideology. I'm calling the position. I'm calling the fact that you have people who have decided that they are simply going to rag and shit on America, and the rest of us have to like it. People like Sneeko are banking on the docility, all right? The docile nature of 99% of Christians, because 99% of Christians have been indoctrinated into being docile. They've been told there's a separation of church and state. Therefore, you can't talk about politics in church, or you shouldn't talk about politics in church. However, the professors at woke colleges talk about politics all the time to the students that they're indoctrinating. The imams at the mosques talk about politics all the time from their pulpits. Don't believe me? Google it. Go to memory. Just type MEMRI. You're going to see tons of these imams, talking politics all the time to their congregations, telling them how Islam is supposed to take over the West. And they laugh at the West, saying how the West is so stupid and how they're taking over. You have the activists, whether it's the social justice warriors or the people who are in the alphabet community, they talk about politics all the time. 99% of the church has been told politics is dirty. Don't talk about politics. If your church is talking about politics, they are violating the separation of church and state. However, they are very silent when Democrats go to churches to campaign and dance like chickens to show that they are deep and they understand church culture. But God forbid, President Trump happens to say that America is a Christian country. Then the Democrats run out to scream about how there's a separation of church and state, but they have no problem with Kamala Harris going to a church to campaign. With all of the Democrats running to churches to campaign, black churches most of the time. I did not mean to spend the night ranting. I came in very happy. I came in very happy. All right, we started patriotic. All right, we started patriotic. Okay, I'm looking for there's a flyby that I watched. There's a flyby that I watched. Geez. I'm just gonna look for it like I've been finding other things in my bookmarks. I watched this flyby and I was thrilled by the excellence. I'm looking at my feed. I lined up a bunch of these videos of leftists frothing at the mouth and hating on America, and I'm like, they need help. They need a hug. Okay, they need a hug. Look at this spectacle. Look at this. This is not AI, right? This is the American Air Force flying 18 inches apart. You can't see this and wonder, oh, how were they able to fire a missile into an air vent in a mountain in Iran last year? You can't see this and understand that the American military is built and trained differently. Americans are built and trained differently. And when I say Americans, I'm not referring to white Americans, the G.I. Joe, caricature of Americans. I'm talking about the people who have adopted the American spirit, who have imbibed the American spirit, the spirit of adventure, the spirit of the pioneer. Yeah, gardening is truly amazing. Like you can't see this and feel like, look, show me another country that can do this, okay? I'll wait. All right, show me another country on the planet that can do this. It's it's just insane. Sorry, I'm not going to show you the rest of these videos. These are videos that I bookmark, and I'm like, all right, guys. I don't know what I did with this live stream. Okay, we essentially have decided that we're going to declare July American Pride Month. So you guys are going to have to help me. Okay, American Pride Month. It is. Since everybody else is doing it, since everybody else is doing it, we're going to do it too. So happy America Pride Month, guys. Okay, we're going to just have fun. We're going to say it, and we're not trying to troll anybody. All right, I'm sure that people are going to come out and say, "Oh, you guys are trying to troll or own the left." Nah, we're not interested in owning the left. We're not. We're doing what is necessary to honor the United States. The left does what is necessary to shit on and to attack the history of the United States. But what we are going to keep doing is we're going to continue to honor the history of the United States. Not like these individuals here who just take all of the blessings and the benefits that living and having the privilege of serving the United States gives, and they decide that they're going to just crash out and exhibit a lot of hate. Okay? So, do you know how I feel right now? I feel like I just threw a grenade in the middle of my live stream and blew it up. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm looking at the plan that I have for the live stream, and I totally obliterated my plan. I was like, okay, I had this very well thought out plan that I was going to do, but no, it's the live stream has essentially just gone sideways. So that's fine. All right, it's fine. I saw this also. These are the things I lined up. So while Mamdani was belly aching and crying about how America isn't exceptional, okay, this was happening in New York. Okay, the U.S. Air Force was doing a beautiful display, over the skies of New York City. All right, this is. Look, while this guy, this ingrate, okay, is crying about how American exceptionalism is either fake or is made up and all of that. Like, I see people like this, and I'm like, you don't deserve America. You don't deserve America. But that's life. That's life. There are people who have been given gifts, but they take those gifts and they despise those gifts. Now, me saying he doesn't deserve America doesn't automatically mean I'm going to wake up tomorrow and he's suddenly deported, or he's impeached as mayor of New York, or something happens. No, and look, we don't wish for bad things to happen to people. But we're just stating the obvious. JM says, it's all good, brother. You're speaking from the heart. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you're enjoying me speaking from the heart. All right. Now, I want you guys to speak from your heart. Okay. We have the call-in feature. The call-in link was let me see. It's higher up in the chat. I'm going to share it again. I want us to talk, okay? If there's anybody who feels like, okay, you also want to kind of add to it, you just want to call in and talk, all right, use the link now you can hide your video. I would recommend you hide your video. Even if I bring you on, I'm going to figure out how to hide your video because your video might not be appropriate or might not be high quality enough. But I would like to, hear from you. We're going to start doing this more often. Okay, we're going to start doing this more often. And I'm going to tell you, I would like to cover news stories that are happening and so on, but there are already too many people that do that already on YouTube. There are already too many people who do that on YouTube. All right. I could say, okay, let me have an engagement with the chat. Everybody's doing that on YouTube. But do we have enough people who are literally having conversations like this? I wouldn't say there's nobody else doing it. There are other people doing it. All right. There are other people who have call-in shows. So I don't think there's literally anything that I could do here that no one has already done. But what I would ask is if you are courageous enough to want to do a call-in, keep profanity to a minimum. Let's engage in good faith dialogue if you're pushing back. If you're supportive, again, keep the language clean. Let's talk about facts and just exchange ideas. If you've listened to me long enough, you know what I stand for. I might be boring. I might be boring because I don't go after sensationalism. I don't. Okay. If something happens that is sensational, lucky day. But I don't want to make this all about sensationalism because I'll tell you the truth. Everyday life is usually very boring. Okay. Everyday life is usually very boring. Most of the news that people want you to believe is like breaking news. Trump destroys the left. And then you open the link, it's like the Supreme Court has agreed with the Trump administration that jaywalking is still illegal. It's like, no, let's not do that. All right, let's not do that. If we're going to build something, it has to be built well, and we don't build on lies, right? So I want us to to start having the call-in feature activated. Occasionally, we have a member on the channel. Speaking of members, this is the 4th of July, and I haven't given any gifted memberships. How dare me? How dare me? Okay? How dare I not give any gifted memberships? It's a travesty. Hang on, guys. Let me figure this out. I want to give gifted memberships, okay? Now, I have to do it on my backup computers, all right? I'm going to see if I can do it here. Guys, I should have done this on Friday. All right, so let's see. Can I give gifted memberships here? Yes. So, thank you for the 4th of July live stream. I have just gifted a bunch of memberships on the let's see. Okay, thought I. So I have how many gifted memberships? I've given out a bunch of them here, and I don't see anybody I know. Okay, I'm just being very generous. Okay, YouTube has a way of distributing. I'm gonna scoot over to my other computer. Just give me a second. All right, let us see if I can do that on the main channel. If I can't, the main channel has always been a wild card. Like, I struggle to even do. Nope, that's not it. I still can't do gifted memberships on the main channel. And the main channel should actually be the one that allows me to do gifted memberships. I don't know why. All right, so congratulations to everyone who received gifted memberships. I have a bunch of names here. At Kelsey 677, Bo Charles 55, someone, and Ben Deleted. 9155. You guys got gifted memberships because it is the 4th of July post live stream. Yeah. So thank you guys for hanging out and being able to get I don't know how YouTube awards these gifted memberships. I don't know how they do it, but I'm glad that we're able to bless people with these gifted memberships. Now, the memberships are meant to be tied to the they're meant to be tied to certain features. All right, it's meant to be tied to certain features that we're working on. So please, if you get these, if you got a membership and you're still live, let's know. Just give us a thumbs up. Let's know that you got a membership. And we would really, really want to get to meet you. We have a Discord server that we're working on. If you have experience working on Discord and you have ideas that we can implement, let's know. Connect with us on Discord and connect with Gardening. Gardening is here in the chat saying congrats to the new member. So congrats. She's wishing you congrats and would like to connect with you if you have ideas on how to make the Discord valuable. We want to bring valuable content to you. All right. Now, this has been a weird live stream for me because I started out wanting to say, look, let's just celebrate the United States. But we don't live in a bubble, guys. We don't live in a bubble. We don't live in a bubble. I could have done the whole Trump is great glazing thing. Oh, look at all of the amazing stuff. But to do that, it would be another live stream that we would just have to write off. The last one we did on Friday, I think it ran for almost 3 hours in the end. We watched the speech by Trump. We watched the fireworks and everything. And there was a lot of music, and the video got claimed. So any revenue that I could have made on that video, got sucked into the void. So in order to do that, I would have to get my hand caught in another copyright claim. And I don't want to recklessly do that with the channel. Like I said, the channels are young. Yes, the main channel has 12,000 subscribers plus, but I don't want to be reckless. I want us to kind of, ease into this and do the right thing. So if you're watching us for the first time, we live stream every day, Sundays to Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you love what you've just experienced with me ranting and torpedoing my entire live stream and blowing it up, okay, subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you're notified in case you run into another live stream where I yet again blow up my planned live stream and begin to talk about things I didn't plan to talk about. And we're going to be doing call-ins from now on. We're going to be doing call-ins. So during the live stream, I'm going to consistently share the call-in link. I'm going to tell you guys to call in and talk. And it's going to be exciting because we're going to run into people who call in and attempt to get the channel taken down by trying to show videos that are inappropriate. God, they're going to say stuff that's inappropriate. They're going to try to get a rise out of us. But more than that, we're going to get more people who are going to call in, who are going to be great patriots, who are going to be great people, who are going to have a great head on their shoulders, and they're going to tell us things that will amaze us about things that we didn't know was happening, that will bring hope, or that will give us some insight into things that we should know. So I am looking forward to seeing that happen. And it is a huge risk, okay? It's a huge risk. I'm not taking it lightly, but I'm looking forward to seeing how we connect to and with more people. All right. Now, since I have you guys here, I want to play this video. All right. Since I have, thank you so much, JM. Since I have you guys here, okay. So Mamdani gave that very arrogant and despicable speech. And then the usual suspect was called on to essentially make a comment about the speech. And that was Rokana. Rokana, as per usual, doesn't have any real convictions. When push comes to shove, his next statement is, I'm the guy who called out the Epstein class. That's what he does every single time. So here he is. He praises communist Zoran Mamdani's speech slandering America. Let's listen to this.
So I know you campaigned with Mayor Mamdani when he was running. I'm sure you probably watched that speech today. What did you think of it, and what do you think about? Give us your sense of the contrast he was drawing there.
I'm glad he did it. It's showing that the same country that produced Donald Trump produced Zoran Mamdani, and Zoran, as you
know, Zoran Mamdani was produced in Uganda. Sorry. Am I missing something? Was Zoran born in the United States? Was he educated and raised with American values? Zoran wasn't raised, with American values. His family, here's Zoran Mamdani's dad. Okay, guys, while we're at it. All right, while we're at it. All right. Look. You listen to this guy, okay? Listen to this guy, okay? This is Zoran Mamdani's dad. All right? Let's have a listen. This is what raised Zoran.
America is the genesis of what we call settler colonialism. And the American model was exported all around the world. Abraham Lincoln generalized the solution of reservations. They herded American Indians into separate territories. For the Nazis, this was the inspiration. Hitler realized two things. One, that genocide was doable.
Hang on. JM, you're connected to some weird things. His dad works in the same university as you. I heard a speech from him one time and I wanted to throw up. This guy is comparing the United States, is comparing Nazi Germany to the United States. Now, people talk about the reservations, and look, the reservations, are a stain on American history, but it's in the same way. Yes, Columbia University. That's amazing, JM. That's amazing. Next thing, you be telling me that you know Donald Trump personally. Look, the reservations are a stain on the American history. Zoran's mom is a big-time producer. Yeah, like we covered that connection while he was running for mayor. Like if you go to my old live streams where I was talking about Zoran and warning about Zoran, it's all there on the main channel. I was warning about it. I talked about it, and you know what? He still won the election. I'm like, man, it sucks to have a small channel. But other people with larger channels have been saying the same thing. JM says, I've been to his seminar back in the day. Look, so like I said, I have thrown a grenade into my live stream. I have given up on trying to salvage what's left of the live stream. Zoran's father is comparing Nazi Germany to the United States' action of putting people in reservations. What he has conveniently left out is the Americans didn't gas anybody. They didn't put them in gas chambers. Oh, I hear the leftists out there saying, oh, but haven't you heard of the Trail of Tears? You know, they're like, yeah, you guys know I'm an immigrant. I didn't grow up in the United States. But what you don't know about me is that I have researched widely. I have been watching the United States since I was a child. I am approaching 50. I have almost 50 years of studying and watching the United States. So I'm not a dunce, okay? So when you talk about the Trail of Tears, all right, the Trail of Tears happened because the American army needed to move large groups of hostile Native Indian Americans to reservations that were comfortable enough, at least, that is what it was supposed to be, to house these people. Why? Because you had Native Americans randomly raiding American settlements, scalping people out in the prairies and so on, and murdering families. So they had two choices. One, wipe them out completely, which the American army could have done. Or two, put them in a reservation and say, okay, here is your land, okay? The chiefs, make sure your people are in check and they're not riding out attacking random American families and scalping them and stealing their horses and cattle. Okay? That happened. But of course, the woke intelligentsia like Zoran's dad would have you believe that America genocided the Native Americans by sending them to reservations, and Hitler learned from that. So America was the cause of the gas chambers, according to Zoran's dad. JM says, just imagine this guy teaches young minds. That is the point. So when you have this Jesus, give me strength. When you have this guy, I thought I had a good handle on my temper. I did. I thought for years I'm like, look, I'm cool as a cucumber. But watching liars lie and stay in power and cause chaos and blame President Trump for causing chaos on TDSBC, it just grinds my gears. So this guy claims that the same America that produced Trump produced Zoran. No. This is what produced Zoran Mamdani, a Marxist far-left professor. That's the home he grew up in. Let's finish listening to him.
It is possible to do genocide. That's what Hitler realized.
Okay, so putting people who attack American citizens who have refused to live under the same laws. The first thing that you need to understand about the reservations is that the Indians refused to live or to be governed by American law. They created laws for themselves. They were a law unto themselves. And so the Americans said, we're not going to exterminate them. We're going to give them their reservations where they will carry out their own laws. Their chiefs will rule over them like they've always wanted to be ruled, and they don't get the benefit of being ruled by American legal systems. That is why casinos have different regulations when they run on reservation land than the ones that run outside of reservation land. I worked in trucking for a few years, and the cheapest fuel that we used to buy for a while came from fuel stations that were on reservation land, or at least owned by native Indians. Don't ask me how. But the taxes that applied to fuel depots outside of the reservation land did not apply on reservation land. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Okay, but you get the drift. Okay. So Ro Khanna again tells a lie.
As a student of history. So it was significant he did that. And Zoran, as you know, is a student of history.
Yeah, taught by his dad, who just told you that Hitler learned genocide from the United States. That's the history he learned.
So it was significant he did that with George Washington's desk, with New York being the first capital of this country. People often don't remember that. Zoran knows that. And he was giving a powerful message of this linking back to our founding ideals, that the Declaration says that we have equality for every person, and that this is a nation really that is based on that creed and has welcomed immigrants. And he's claiming that vision as true patriotism and inspiring. And
I want us to understand that America welcomes settlers, not immigrants, settlers. Those of you who live in America can call me out and correct me all you want, but let me explain. When the Jews from Europe moved to the United States, many of them spoke Yiddish. And as soon as they came in, within one generation, all their children had begun to speak English. They identified as Americans. They settled. They became American. They were not immigrants. They settled. Now, I'm sure there's someone out there who's going to say, okay, you're showing how ignorant you are. Settlers actually have to tame the land and so on. What I'm describing is the attitude of the people who came. They didn't come as immigrants. An immigrant comes mindful that they have ties to the country they came from, and someday they might go back. Many of the people who came to America did not plan to go back. They planned to settle. They planned to plant roots and to have children. And the moment their children could understand language, they said, you speak English only in this household. You must speak English. The same happened to the Germans. The same happened to other nationalities or tribes that came in from Europe. Even the Swedes, the Scandinavian settlers that came, they assimilated. You don't have enclaves in Pennsylvania of people of German origin who still speak German outright. Some of them still speak. Some of them speak privately or understandably, but I think that has essentially petered out. It's rarely, it's rare to see that. But when you go to Dearborn, Michigan, or you go to Minnesota, and you look at the Somali community where they actively hold on to their dressing, they dress as if they are in the desert. They're dressing, they keep their language. They are migrants. They are not there to settle. They are not there to settle. It's very different. And the moment we tell ourselves the truth about it. Now, people from my tribe in Nigeria quarrel with me for two reasons. One, I don't speak the local language. I understand it. I don't speak it. My mother told me that when I was a child, I walked up to her and I said to her, I will never speak the language again. She thought I was joking. The reason was I was being mocked and bullied by my playmates because I would routinely speak English and mix it up with our local language, and they called me a bush boy. And so I decided I was going to knock it off because my brain was working that way. I could speak both languages fluently. So I could flip back and forth as a child. I was really young. And I told my mom, I'm not speaking this language ever again. And she's like, okay, we'll see. And I did it because that's how stubborn I am. So they mock me for it. But I never taught my kids how to speak because I never spoke it. And so they also mock me for that too. Oh, you never taught your kids how to speak? And I'm like, no. My parents didn't give me an English name. So I decided I was going to give all my kids English names so that they would be able to engage and connect with the West. Assimilation is intentional. Let's see. JM says they assimilated and became part of culture. They raised families and started businesses. That is what I want to see more of. I'm looking at my dashboards, and I'm like, okay, am I seeing the numbers right? So I needed to confirm. So I'm just telling you this because it takes an act of your will to assimilate. It takes an act of your will to lay aside the identity that isn't compatible with where you are or where you're going. But when you see a group of people who hold on to that identity, it is equally an act of their will. So you're dealing with people who have refused to assimilate. I am not creating enemies. I'm not manufacturing enemies of the United States. I'm telling you that when people act this way, they have refused to assimilate. And it's a sad thing because they have a chance to assimilate. They have a chance to thrive and to prosper. There are many Nigerians who move to the United States and they assimilate as much as Nigerians assimilate. And they do well. They go to college. They get really great marks. They graduate. They begin very illustrious careers, and they do really well. Some of them start businesses. They assimilate. They don't try to create little Lagos in the United States. They don't. I haven't seen that happen unless I'm mistaken. Okay? Because I've never set foot on US soil. So I need to just clarify that. So Ro-Khanna, as usual, being the shill that we all know him to be. Let's see. So this was happening outside of the White House during Independence Day. I feel very sorry for the people who have been misled by Ro-Khanna and his posse. All right, these people have been so brainwashed by TDSBC, Ro-Khanna, and the rest of them. Leftists in Washington, D.C. throw stuffed dolls of President Trump, J.D. Vance, and Pete Hegseth into a box labeled the dustbin of history. These people are coping so hard that they have to do things like this, things that children do. But that's me being charitable. But this is called witchcraft. All right? This is called witchcraft. Okay? So when you deal with effigies and you're dealing with what they call those dolls. What they call those dolls? I keep forgetting those dolls that witches from Haiti. You know, they have these voodoo dolls where they stick a pin in the doll and it's meant to affect the person halfway across the world. All right. So these guys are doing exactly that.
What's going on here?
offering a free game, carnival. You throw these figures, your choice, into the dustbin of history.
We're going to get Katie in the dustbin of history. Woo! Pete Cakesap. What's your name, sir? Juan. Juan's going to put Pete Cakesap in the dustbin of history.
Do me a favor, when he gets it in, whoop it up.
All right, he gets it in, everybody cheer, okay?
You have to astroturf the chairs, really.
Well
the
done,
ones
Juan.
and
Get one of our
twos.
handstands or one of our political buttons. Oh! Everybody, Kat is the first one today to pick the biggest crook of them all, the Donald. When Kat gets the Donald in the bin, I want to hear a big cheer. Are you ready to play, Kat?
Oh, yeah.
Into the bin. Who are you throwing?
This is Donald Trump.
This is Donald Trump. Here he goes. Yay! Into the dustbin of history. Well done,
Wow.
Kat.
Wow, yeah, you showed them. But this is actually witchcraft, guys, okay? It's actually witchcraft. These people are engaging in witchcraft every single time they come up with, oh, let's burn the flag. It's freedom of speech, guys. Setting fire to the symbol of the union that people bled and died for. All right? It shows how little you value that sacrifice. And you want to destroy it. It's a symbol of destroying the union. Oh, but it's freedom of speech. No, it's actually witchcraft. Oh, there you go again with your QAnon. Guys, it's witchcraft. Let's call it what it is. It's witchcraft. So the left is coping hard. President Trump is... Look, they've tried. They've tried. I'm going to show it now. Some of you, I might lose some of you. I might lose some of you with if I find this. If I find this. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to find a post that I saw. I don't want to take too much of your time, but here's another post here, okay? Here's another post, all right? So when I say that there's actual witchcraft afoot, okay? This post, liberal women are now doing witchcraft at Trump protests. Let's look at this.
This is a sigil specifically designed to protect protesters. It is the eye of protection. The more you share it, the more powerful it becomes. Thank you. I will share. One more visual. Thank you, lady. Thank you.
So, for those of you who are screaming, it's a conspiracy. This black man from Africa wants us to believe that people are actually casting spells at at Donald Trump, the felon. Okay, it's actually right there on film. All right, if you call it film, it's on video. Okay, people are literally doing this. All right. Oh gosh, like I said, I might lose a bunch of you. Once I begin to, sorry, I need to, there's a post. If I can't find it, then I'll let it go. All right. I'll just let it go. There was a post I saw a while back, and it was I don't want to say it. I just want to find the post. If I can't find it, I'll just let it go. Okay. Let's see. If I can't find it, I'll just move. I'll just move. Okay. We've got 8 people, according to the software, watching the live stream, watching me torpedo my well-planned live stream. And now I'm talking about witchcraft. I'm sorry, guys. I am so sorry, guys. Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry. Like it's like I said, like this just went sideways. It just went sideways, but I don't know. Sometimes when you ask yourself, why is it that these people hate Trump so much? You can't begin to, you can't help but begin to wonder if it's actually a spiritual issue. Okay. Let me try another search term. You guys are so patient with me. I appreciate it. Okay? I appreciate it. I want to just try one more thing. And then if I don't find it, I'm just going to, move on. Okay. So let's see. Here's another. Okay. Like you guys, I'm just going to play this, then do another search. And then here's another video.
Who thought I wasn't specific enough. So I don't mind doing this all over again. Let's be specific this time.
So she's burning
The easier your bay leaf burns, the quicker the
leaf.
manifestation should come. And this bay leaf and the one before burned very easy.
So what? So she wrote Trump in prison on the bay leaf. Okay, Donald Trump is in prison, and burnt it. These are the guys that vote alongside with you guys, okay? These are the guys who vote alongside with you guys, okay? Now, let's see. Here's another one. Another liberal who has turned to witchcraft to stop Trump.
Hey, y'all, it's Magical Mimi, psychic medium, and maybe one thing you don't know about me is I'm also a priestess, a witch.
Well done. Well done. She won the retard award. So these are the people who think that being a witch is like Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter series. That's what they think, okay? Anyway, I saw a chat by JM. JM says it's not conspiracy. It is true. There was a group of witches who tried to cast spells against Trump, but couldn't break through. They said he had a protection over him. I guess their dark masters couldn't break the force fields. People are praying for Trump, okay? People are praying for Trump. And the left mocks the pastors who actively who come in and pray for Trump regularly. They mock them, they call them weirdos, and they're like, oh, these are the weird evangelical pastors who come in and pray. Oh, look at how they act in their churches, and then they show them doing things like praying in tongues and so on. And they try to discredit them before the eyes of the rest of the world because they want the rest of the world to attack them and Trump to shame them into stopping praying for President Trump. So, like I said a few minutes back, I said I might lose a few of you at this point because some of us don't believe in the woo-woo part. But when you have people like this, guys, these people vote. They live in the country with you. She's a priestess and a confessed witch.
And so I do spell work quite often. I've also helped clients, but that's not why I'm here. Have you ever been threatened and felt unsafe by a group of people, or maybe like one person, but like in particular a group of people that are organized in some way? Have you ever wanted to like return that malice back? Well, I have a very easy spell for all of you.
Yeah, so she's doing witchcraft tutorials, okay, on TikTok. All right. So, let's see. Anyway, I'm gonna stop here because this rabbit hole is deep and icky. You're gonna find a lot of nonsense, okay? Let's see. JM says they are openly walking to hell, to be honest. Hopefully many could see the light and walk away from the destructive behavior. Yeah. So, and that's why I keep saying to you guys, let's not use the weapon of the left. Let's not. Like weeks ago, I found myself kind of getting really angry regularly, and kind of, I would tell gardening, hey, I find that the algorithm is trying to push me towards ranting and screaming and calling people retards. And when you do that, the numbers start growing. Okay, it happened tonight. Okay, I was raising my voice about an issue, and the numbers started going up. At one point, we had about 10 plus viewers at that point. So it's manipulative, it's witchcraft. I don't want to partake in that nonsense at the risk of the channel not making any money. I would rather have a broke channel than have a channel that essentially becomes a puppet of the algorithm. So yeah, so I don't want us to use the tools of the left in order to do something that is right. So we have to be careful. Yeah, so there's a lot of witchcraft going on. All right. I just read this post. I'm like, there's some truth, there's conspiracy theories, there's a bunch of other things. Okay. All right. So anyway, we are at the 2-hour mark. The live looks like not the feds are role-playing a far-right group again. Let's see. Is that a new story that is coming up, JM? If it's a new story that you want me to see, okay, usually it's possible to send it to me on the Discord, so I can just pick up the link and put it up. So if you could do that, or just tell us what's going on. All right. So guys, Gardening says exactly. I'm wondering what the response is about. A few years ago, they did the same thing. Okay, they did the same thing. I'm wondering what we're talking about now. I'm wondering what we're talking about now. So you guys might have to catch me up. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we're at the 2-hour mark, and guys, I totally feel like just putting my feet up and talking with you guys, but I know it's getting late. All right, I know it's getting late, and I do want to have something in the tank for tomorrow. All right, now, for those of you who are watching, because I mean, I'm watching you guys, and I'm like asking myself the question: how come there's so many of you still watching, even after I essentially almost destroyed this live stream? I didn't do a thumbnail. I didn't do a title. I planned a live stream that wasn't properly laid out. And then I jumped into the live stream and I basically just destroyed every connecting tissue between stories. And now I'm talking about witchcraft on a live stream. So I've just been all over the place. And I'm like, what are 6 people still doing watching this live stream? Even though I think the kick viewer might not be a real person. I'm like, what am I doing? But guys, this is my happy place. Okay, just being able to talk with you guys is my happy place. Just looking at these stories and saying, okay, here's what happened here, and here's this other thing that happened. Did you see this? Here's how it connects. And even though I like the idea of pre-planning, which, in my opinion, is very respectful to you, so that I don't ramble. Okay, I feel like I did a lot of rambling tonight. If you guys didn't feel that I was rambling, thank you. I appreciate the love. Okay, but usually I try to plan things out neatly so that I respect your time and I don't, just throw things all over the place. But this is my happy place, just talking with you guys and literally looking at the facts. If we had anybody in the chat who says, you're lying, you're a Trump shill, then we'll say, okay, let's talk. And if we have a good conversation like we did with Phil and with the other guy in the earlier live stream from last week, we have a good conversation. Simple. I hope we can get more of those. Yeah, so we're over the 2-hour mark, and I do want to. So I do have some work to do tonight. So gardening is totally okay. It's always great to have you in the chat, even when you're not able to talk. Even when you're not able to talk. I spent some time with family this weekend, and when you spend time with, and when I say family, I mean extended. And occasionally the politics or their politics slips past the guardrails, and you're like, okay, I guess I know who they've been listening to. And I don't argue with I don't argue politics with family. I actually don't. Because I value my family more, because I know once we begin to have that conversation, they will decide that they don't have anything to do with me. Yeah, the other guy was soul something, okay? Yeah, he was soul something. I remember him. But that was a pleasant conversation, okay? It was a pleasant conversation. All right. Now, we're back on the old software, and you guys may have noticed that it stopped blinking. It hasn't been blinking out and disconnecting us. I don't know what happened. Maybe they fixed the bug, and we have the sound effects back in here, so it's fun to use. How has the quality of the audio been? Okay, how has the quality of the audio been? Oh my goodness. Okay, Gardening says, I'm missing my mom and dad since they passed this year. So it is just a lonely time. I'm so sorry about that. So sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. I pray that God will comfort you and fill the hole that was left behind when they passed, and that your memories of them will be good memories, sweet memories, and that it will not be tainted by grief, but that the joy that you shared with them while they were here, even while you grew up under their care, would remain, and that it would light you up from the inside. Okay, I pray that for you in Jesus' name. I want to be able to also do stuff like this. Just be able to pray for you guys, like even on stream. because I believe in prayer. I believe in the power of prayer. And I believe that the power of prayer has been a huge part of what has been protecting President Trump from these witches. Gardening says, audio has been great. Thank you. I'm glad it has been great. I hope it stays great. I do hope it stays great. Let's see. Gardening says, so being on the ground around friends is good. Yeah, I'm sorry. My mom passed on October as well. Try to remember the good times. Yeah. Your mom really in October. Wow. So sorry about that. So sorry about that. Yeah. I've told the story of my mom passing as well. And it's something. It's something. Yeah. So we have a community. Yeah, you're so welcome, JM. You're welcome. Like, we want to support each other. We want to pray for each other. And JM, I pray for you as well. The Bible says that God is the God of all comfort, and He comforts us in our grief. I pray that the Lord will comfort you, that the grief will not overcome you, but that God's comfort will surround you and strengthen you and give you peace in Jesus' name. Grief is such a strong thing. Grief is a strong thing. When my mom died in March of last year, 1st of March, she died. So it was a Saturday afternoon. I got a call at around 2 in the afternoon, and I was told my mom had died. And I stood in the stairwell to my basement crying. Nobody knew what was going on. My wife was out of the house. My kids were in their rooms, engaging themselves with their screens. And I was in the stairwell of my basement crying. So we didn't bury her for about 9 or 10 months, almost 10 months. So it was 10 months of grieving. It was 10 months of grieving. And in Africa, people try to postpone funerals in order to have people who are outside of the country to be able to make it for the funeral. So it took 9 months, about 9 or 10 months. And for that period, it was a period of grief. I didn't know I was grieving. I didn't understand what was going on inside of me, but it was only later that I found out that I was dealing with grief. So when I pray for you guys, I'm really, praying out of my own experience of dealing with grief. Glenn says amen. JM says amen. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being accepting of me, doing this, because we don't have people who are comfortable doing this after they talk about the news and what's going on in the world, have the ability to also do this. I haven't seen many of them. So thank you for giving me the freedom to be able to do this for you. JM says, stay strong as well, brother. We are rooting for you, and may the Lord help find your peace. Amen. Thank you so much for that prayer. I receive it. Thank you so much. Amen. Thank you. Now, if you're still here and you're still watching, I have no clue why you're still here, but I believe God sent you, to watch me and possibly to stick with me as the channel grows. I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. I want to invite you to join the Discord server if you haven't joined the Discord server. It's really easy. Use the link in the... Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the link here. Excuse me. I'm going to drop the link here. I'm just going to be a good boy. And I'm going to 1 second. I'm going to drop the link right here in the chat. Okay, I'm going to drop it right here in the chat. We've been asking people to join the Discord, and no matter how many times we've done it, we barely have people pulling the trigger. So the link now is in the chat. I hope you consider using that to join the Discord, connecting with gardening and the rest of us who are on the Discord. If you want to send stories right there, we're going to do that. Eventually, we'll see what else we can do within the Discord to really help you and make this quality time for you. If you have suggestions for the live streams, for the last couple of live streams, we haven't done body cam videos. We didn't do body cam videos on Friday. We aren't doing body cam videos tonight. If body cam videos are something that you're like, okay, hey, we should do more of that. Okay, look, these are things that we can discuss on the Discord, and we can actually, figure out what works for you, the audience, and then we can do more of that. So that's what I would really want you guys to be able to do within the Discord. I want to say thank you to all of you who have stuck around. I keep saying that I blew up the live stream, but the live stream has actually been healthy. For me, it's healthy. It doesn't feel toxic. It doesn't feel like we only went hard on bad things, and it didn't feel like we were only like trying to pretend like bad things weren't happening and we went overboard on the good things. We've looked at some of the things that really did well. President Trump's speech from Friday, we listened to the entire speech, while he was, we were a few minutes behind to avoid any copyright strikes on the channel, but it didn't prevent the channel from getting copyright claims on the music and stuff like that. But the speech was an amazing speech. It was a patriotic speech. It was a call to action to everyone out there who's patriotic. And I would say that it's not just a patriotic speech for Americans. It's a patriotic speech for anyone who believes in liberty and believes that their countries, their nations, can learn from how the United States has emerged as a world power from a country, from a handful of settlers who landed, years and years ago, who were disadvantaged. Europe was the superpower. They were just an emerging settlement of people who just wanted to be left alone by the crown. And yet, 250 years after they declared independence from the British crown, here we are looking at the result of that resolve. All right. Everyone should be inspired by it. Anyone who wants you to hate on it, who wants you to shit on it, who wants you to look at it and say, oh, look at these horrible white supremacists honoring slave owners whose only desire was to be free from their white monarchs. Anyone who says that is wicked. They have a wicked soul, and they want to spread that wickedness across the United States. So we will continue to call them out, but I do think that having a healthy conversation with you guys is more important than, oh, let's call out the left. I mean, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy watching those videos and saying, oh, look at these guys, and they actually vote. I enjoy that like the next guy, believe me. But I want us to kind of to have healthy roundtable conversations. And that's why I am heavily invested in the chat. I will derail an entire live stream over someone having a real conversation in the chat. So that's why I do what I do. When I do it, I always feel like I always feel like I am sacrificing something in order to make my audience know that they matter. And that's really what I want you to know. You guys matter, okay? Gardening, you matter, all right? Gardening, you matter. Gardening has been helping out. She joined the channel. It's been a month or two now. It feels like you've been on the with the channel for years. That's how it feels. But she joined maybe a couple of months back, and then she suggested that I start using the gifted memberships system. She couldn't get one, so I made her a mod. And she immediately went to work researching how to be a mod. And she's essentially the moderator of both channels right now. She's anyone who wants to figure out what to do about being a moderator on the channel has to go to her now. So thank you, Gardening. You are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I am deeply grateful that you decided that you were going to hang out with a small channel like mine and be so committed, move your schedule around and just be here every single time I go live. I am grateful. I don't know how to say it more, but I think my own expression of gratitude will be to do everything I can to honor the sacrifice that you continue to make every single time you show up. I will do my best to just make sure that I bring my A game. Speaking of A games, you sent me a link. I'm going to play that link, okay? I'm going to play that link. I forgot to play it. I'm going to honor you by playing it because you did the work of finding that link, and I think it's something to go out on a high about. And speaking of highs, JM, thank you. JM has been a surprise addition to our family. I'll call us a family now because it's essentially like you joined. I don't know if you're a he or a she. I don't know, and you've joined. You've become a part of us. You've just become like it's almost like you've always been here. So you've just fit in nicely. You've encouraged a lot of truth telling, and you know what? I do appreciate you, and I know that there is a part that you play in the journey of this channel. There's a place for you here, and thank you so much for all that you do. Now, so far, this has been the live chat has contained a lot of back and forth between Gardening, JM, and I. And it's really about having a conversation around the news. The idea isn't that the conversation is meant to be isolated to just those who are regulars, but it's meant to go that way for as many people as are courageous enough to post in the chat and have a conversation. We are all about conversation. And that's why even when we have people who don't agree with us, we do our best to create that environment to have a safe, forthright, truthful conversation with them. And I do value that. And that's why I want to recognize the lurkers. The lurkers are really important, okay? I lurk a lot on most of the shows that I watch, largely because I'm not very great at typing. I'm great at talking, but not at typing. So chatting for me in live chats is overwhelming, especially when you're watching a live stream with 13,000 other people on some of the live streams that I follow. And most of them, it's like a waterfall. You post something and it's like your chat disappears in the waves and waves of live chats. And I know I feel unseen in those environments. And that's why I do what I do here, to try and make everyone seen, even the lurkers. And that's why I recognize you guys after every show, hoping that someday one of you will decide to break the pattern and become a non-lurker. So here's to the lurkers. Yeah. So let's see. I'm going to read the chat. Gardening says thank you and says I wouldn't change a thing. Well, thank you so much. Excuse me. I've been talking so much. I haven't taken any much hydration today. So I think my throat is beginning to complain. So I wouldn't change a thing. Okay. Is it the journey to becoming part of the channel, or you wouldn't change a thing about how the channel is being handled? I don't know, but you'll let me know, I'm sure. The 4th of July one, I'm not sure. Gardening says, yes, JM, we love having you. You have really been a great part of this channel. I love your comments. Look, we love your comments, and you know what? We're looking forward to bigger things. JM says, thank you all. And yes, I am a he. Thank you for letting us know and for confirming. JM says, I'm glad to be here always. Thanks, Lynn. And oh, yes, your journey. Okay, yeah. So you wouldn't change a thing about your journey. Guys, you guys know I love you, and I know you guys love me back. All right. Yes, the water parade video. And that was actually first on my list. Let's see. Excuse me. Let me cue this up. This was fun. I saw Gardening sent this in, and I just wanted to share this with you guys. Okay, so this is a small town parade. They're literally like, this is, guys, look. Which other country on the planet does stuff like this? Okay? What other country on the planet decides that they're going to have a water fight on the 4th of July? I'm cutting in and out of the music because I'm really trying hard to make sure that no one tries a copyright claim on. Okay, so it's been looping. Yeah, so this is amazing. This is, America is many things to many people. For me, it's Sesame Street. All right, Sesame Street. Watching Sesame Street for me at 4 p.m. in the afternoon on weekdays back in Nigeria in the 80s. It's Sesame Street. It's Fraggle Rock. It's Saturday morning cartoons, me watching cartoons that possibly had aired maybe 10 years before, and we're only getting it 10 years after on our local TV stations. It's watching heroic displays on movies, and that is the American spirit. It's the memory of a promise that all men are created equal under God. I mean, that's me. All right. It's watching or is reading I didn't read Huckleberry Finn, but I watched the adaptation on TV. Yeah, I'm sure they took some liberties, but it's watching Huckleberry Finn, and seeing the story of an American boy being a ragamuffin in the middle of the woods, just living his life and growing in the outbacks of America in the 1800s, I think. Like, these are memories, okay, for me. And these are also memories for a lot of Americans, having parades like this. And then, no one is telling you can't do it. You just do it because it's fun. Let's see. All right. Gardening says, I would have loved to go to one like that. Look, I don't know. I have grown up to be like, I don't know if I would like to go to something like this. I don't know yet. Maybe I will. My wife would drag me out to one of these, maybe. Gardening says, especially since they were canceling parades because of the heat. Yeah, like this was innovative. That's why I said the American spirit, the indomitable American spirit. You say you can't do it. You say, okay, so how can we do it? And then you figure it out and you get things done just like this. I think I'll just keep playing this on a loop. Let it keep playing because it's fun to watch. And now it's jerky. All right, let's do that. Yeah, so JM says, I was a lurker here from time to time before I started to chat. Really? So I'm gonna say this, okay? And I don't want to be cheesy. I'm not gonna push the applause button, but here's what I'm gonna say, okay? I want to say thank you to JM for being courageous enough to begin to chat. Thank you. And thank you for being here. You are a testament to the fact that even though sometimes I feel like I'm talking to nobody, okay, but right now it's impossible because I always have people to chat with. But back in the day, I would literally be live and there will be 0 viewers. 0, and it would be hard to just sit and just talk and just pretend like I'm talking to someone and there'll be no one chatting. Okay. So I want to say thank you for chatting with us. Look, there's more people like you out there. And the more we talk, the more we, continue to express the truth. I'm sure that most of them will pick up courage and start having conversations. There are amazing people in the chat. There are amazing people and they're coming. They are coming. I've seen many of the videos after the fact, but I always enjoyed the perspective you provide on events. Well, thank you so very much. Thank you so much. That is encouraging. And the encouragement that you guys give helps me to keep doing this, right? It helps me to keep doing this like you can't believe. It is very helpful. All right. Gardening says about the video, not so much music. I know, but I'm just trying to be very gardening. That night we're like, okay, there's music. They're going to claim this video, but since we've decided to watch the fireworks live, let's go for it. And we finished the live stream. I went to bed that night or that morning. It was about 2 a.m. before I got to bed. Was it 3? And I got up and I see this notification on my phone, copyright claim on both channels, and I'm warning to myself, the super chats, I hope they didn't snag the super chats as well. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Gardening says, look at all those happy people enjoying themselves. That is good. Look, while these weirdos over here, I'm sorry, but that's what they are. While these weirdos over here are busy gnashing their teeth about Trump, right? While they're there just being miserable and sad and complaining, right? You have these patriots. People say, well, you're calling them patriots. Yes, they are patriots. You have these patriots. Okay, just having fun. Okay. So, it's hung again. Someday, guys, I'm going to buy a bigger, stronger computer that takes care of all of these issues. Let's see. Yeah, they're having so much fun. Young and old come together enjoying American Pride Month. Yes, so July is American Pride Month. We're gonna stick to it. We're gonna talk about it, and who knows? Maybe we make a T-shirt. I've been talking about T-shirts. I've been talking about our merch store. Not been talking about our merch store. The merch store has been sitting idle, and I need you guys to force me to do something to make sure that our merch is finally ready to go. So most of the work, yes, America, Pride Month. Look, I've got an applause button and I'm not afraid to use it. So we're going to be celebrating America Pride Month, I think, every live stream. And we're just going to be pushing it. We're going to be pushing it. We're going to push it. We're going to push it just the same way they push this ideology down our throats. We're going to push this and push it. And we not down their throats. We're just going to do it because it is important that we learn how to honor our countries. Okay? It's important. Europe is lost. I'm sorry. But Europe is lost. The rot has gone so deep. This morning, while I was in church, I saw this video. Where is it? Like, okay, so this is. I'm just going to share this. I just typed preacher arrested. This is, this is England, okay? Islamists are crashing out because a pastor, street preacher was simply discussing their religion with them. They don't want anybody pushing back on their religion. They want him gone. Here's a Christian preacher arrested in Britain for sharing his faith. So he was arrested in Britain for simply sharing his faith while large numbers of Muslims are allowed to practice openly. Do you recall the video we watched a few weeks back where there was a 16-year-old who testified before Congress about teachers sharing the Quran in his high school? But Bibles are banned in American high schools. Let's keep going. So there was a video. So here's another one. Christian street preacher arrested in London days after Trafalgar Square Islamic mass Islamic prayer. Okay. I said Europe is lost. All right. Street preacher arrested in London for reciting Jesus Christ. And on and on and on it goes. Excuse me. There was a video from today. This isn't today. I haven't, that was the, yeah. So today there was another preacher who was arrested. I'm not going to go looking for it, but another preacher was arrested. And why am I connecting this to my earlier statement that Europe is gone or is fallen? It's because when you have a foreign religion, an insurgency that essentially come in and your law enforcement is suppressing the traditional faith of the indigenous people of the country in favor of pleasing the insurgents, you've lost your country. What you have now is an occupation. You have an occupation. The local police have essentially become the occupying force of the insurgency. And it's a very sad day indeed. I'm not saying it to be smug or to be edgy. I'm just calling balls and strikes. A few weeks back, okay, so here you have so this is back in 2023, okay? In 2023, let's play this video, all right? Let's play this video. It says, peaceful Christian preacher arrested for peacefully preaching Christianity. Aggressive, hateful Islamist allowed and encouraged to preach his hate in High Street. Let's what it's about 1 minute, 20 seconds. So let's look at this, because when you look at this, you can't come away with a different conclusion. Let's watch this.
You think I'm scared, don't you? I am scared of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa Alhamdulillah. Allah Akbar. Subhanallah. Alhamdulillah. You're in my face. You came up to me. I thought twice. You're the one. You're coming up to me now. Come on. Come on. Come on. No.
What are you doing here? I am preaching. You are preaching. I'm going to require you to go away.
You can never.
Okay, then I will arrest you for a breach of peace. Plain and simple.
What breach of peace?
It's what you're doing at the moment. You're causing problems, you're disturbing people's days, and you're breaching their peace. Okay, so for that to be dealt with, if you won't go away voluntarily, we will have to arrest you.
I'll tell you, this young man has the right to assembly. He can stand here, he can shout, he can alarm, and so on and so forth. He can stop and offend. Here's my witness. If his actions go beyond that, and he commits a public order offence, criminalised harassment.
So now the police is protecting him. Well, here the police is arresting the Christian preacher.
No. Don't take my Bible away. Don't take my Bible away.
So, it is sad. Okay, it is sad. This video was published in 2023. All right, it's way worse right now. Okay, it's okay. Saying way is going too far, but it's worse now. JM says, I'm not surprised in England, shaking my head. It has fallen big time. They are openly against the word. On a different live stream, maybe we begin to, we talk about stuff like this. We can talk about stuff like this. There's things I've heard about King Charles and other things that we've been hearing coming out of England. We could talk about it on a different live stream, but I just made that statement. I just wanted to cover it, and it's kind of dragged out. But guys, let's talk. Okay. I want to say thank you to you guys. I mean, I'm sorry. Wrecked the live stream yet again. So, but I'm grateful for you guys hanging out. Okay. It's truly an honor and a blessing to hang out with you guys. The rest of you who are lurking, hope to catch you and have you talk with me and others in the chat very soon. All right, so I've gone around the horn. We're going to be back again at 9 p.m. Eastern on Monday, and we'll be hanging out and talking about the news. I hope you would consider joining the Discord. Eventually, I'm looking forward to you guys sending in stories that we can watch together and react to and have conversations over. So thank you once again. I'll be praying for you, and I'm looking forward to catching you tomorrow on the next one. Until then, bye-bye.